How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Siah Sports, and today it's going to be a little more laid back. I'm going to talk about the Dodgers clinching the NL West. Now, the Dodgers have clinched it 8 times. They clinched it 8 times in a row previously, before not being NL West champions last year, and then ended up going to the wild card game, won that game, beat the Giants in the NLDS, lost in the NLCS, and the Giants have fallen off completely. I don't know what was going on last year, and the Dodgers have just magically gone crazy. They have 98 wins as of right now, with 21 games left to go. So really, there is a chance. It's not a high chance, but there is a possibility that they could pass the all-time wins record. Do I think they'll do it? Probably not. Because one, it's a little complicated to be able to do that, and two, because it's probably a little... Why? You already clinched the NL West. You know for a fact you're going to be in the postseason. Like, at this point, why bother with winning games, obviously. Like, you want to win games, but you gotta be more smart about who you use, when you use them, how much you use them, blah, blah, blah. Get everyone ready for the postseason, which starts in less than a month. The postseason starts, I think, in 3 weeks. And the Dodgers are just doing fantastic. They're better than everybody else. I can't believe it. How great they're doing. 141 games in the season, already clinching a spot, not just in the postseason, but in the NL West. And, they had their little champagne thing yesterday, which was nice, But again, the job's not done with them. Personally, I don't really like how, if you clinch the division and it's not close, like how it is now, I get it, having a champagne party at the same time, but you can't let yourself you can't get too ahead of yourself, because at the same time, now, what matters is not the regular season, because you're already in the postseason. You're already done. You're already there. What matters is the postseason, prepping for that. You got to make sure that you have the right people on the roster, in the right positions, at the right times, to get everyone ready. Now, what are the Dodgers' postseason roster going to look like? I don't know, really. There are some instances where I could see them changing up who they have and what they do. I feel like they have to use James Outman at this point. But at the same time, you got to focus on giving people the at-bats that they need. Now, who do I think is a lock to make the postseason roster? Well, on the pitching side, Urias is probably going to be our number one guy. Kershaw is probably going to be our number 2 guy. Heaney's doing pretty good. Anderson's doing good. If Gonsolin's healthy, he's going to be there. If May stays good, he's going to be there. I think our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 through the postseason is probably going to be Urias, Kershaw, Gonsolin, Anderson, May. And then Heaney is either going to be a backup starter in case something goes wrong, or the innings eater guy. I don't think he will make any postseason starts. He might. They might do a 6-man rotation. But at the same time, if you want to get the best people in there at the right time, the best thing to do is use 5-man or even a 4-man rotation, and have May be an innings eater too, or have Gonsolin being an innings eater if he's not fully healthy in time, which they might do. They might just have their rotation be Urias, Kershaw, Anderson, May, and have Gonsolin and Heaney pick up like 3 innings every couple of games, just to really bolster the depth of the bullpen. Now, with the bullpen, we don't know what it's going to look like yet. Who's going to be a lock so far? Well, Vesia is going to be a lock. I think he's still doing great. He's still there. Kimbrel, at this point, he's been doing great lately. So, I think he has kind of earned his spot back in that in the bullpen for that. Who else? Ferguson is doing fantastic. I'm forgetting. Who the hell else do we have? I have no idea. But still, again, I think those 3, and I know I'm forgetting somebody, are the only 100% locks. Unless they get hurt, which I don't think they will, because they're all workhorses, they're all doing good. They will probably be are guys that we fall on more often. Chris Martin is definitely a lock-in because he's been doing great lately. But still, we only need maybe like 6 bullpen guys because we have that much starting rotation depth to where they can dip into that for the bullpen. Because Yency Almonte is still hurt, Trinan's still hurt, Gonsolin is still hurt too, so they might have to like make a move right there to see what happens. Connell, whatever his name is, he just got activated, so we're not sure how he's gonna work yet, but hopefully he goes and does good. I hope so. So again, with the bullpen, not 100%. With the hitting core, I think it's pretty much set in stone. Most of it. Betts, Freeman, Turner, Muncy, Turner, Taylor, Gallo. I don't want Bellinger on the. Bellinger usually turns up in the playoffs, so who knows what's gonna happen with that. Those guys I think they're gonna be our guys who are really getting in there. Trace is doing fantastic. I guess Miguel Vargas, maybe. Hansa Alberto, he's not a good player, but he's a great member of this team. He's a great cheerleader. He's a great guy who can really be that clubhouse presence. You know, he does what very few players can, but he knows that he's not that great of a hitter or a fielder for that matter. So in doing what he does, which is just being like the cheerleader guy, he very much succeeds in that role, and I think he 100% deserves a ring for that because not many players can be that guy who does that in the dugout. But at the same time, is he going to be able to make the playoff roster over someone who's possibly better, like James Outman? No, I don't believe that. Like to put it into perspective, I'm not really fully down with Alberto being on the playoff roster or Vargas being on the playoff roster because they're both pretty trash. It's basically a free out for both of them. Gavin Lux is still hurt, but when he's able to come back and really get in there, which I think he will be able to do sometime this week, he'll be there in the lineup, and there will be no room for either of them really. So there's a chance that they might change their position and go towards a different option. Maybe move Chris Taylor permanently to the infield to go back to back with Gavin Lux, and bring up Outman to put him in the outfield to maybe have an outfield of like Mookie, Trace, Outman, Gallo, Bellinger, and like just kind of move around based on give the at bats to whoever you think is best in that rotation. I'm not really too sure what they're gonna do, but what matters now, really, for the Dodgers is that they have options, which is crazy because no other team has that right now. Every team right now is focused on, we got to win games so that we can even make the postseason. No one else has clinched a playoff spot, let alone their division. So, and it doesn't look like anyone's going to clinch a playoff spot for another like 10 games or so if they go on a winning streak. So, what we have now is a great opportunity to give the at-bats to the people who are struggling, to say, get your shit together or else you're not on the team. Give the innings to the people who are struggling, get your shit together or else you're off the team. And to focus on getting the guys who need to be in there to prep for the postseason in there when necessary, and to give the struggling guys a chance to have less pressure. Because right now, winning games is great. Winning games is still important, for sure. But it's not everything. And at this point, winning a game and losing a game pretty much means nothing. It doesn't mean nothing. If we're going for the all-time wins, then it means something. But if we're not, then it means nothing. Because we already have our division all clinched. We already have everything all good. So focus less on winning the games, and focus more on prepping for 2-3 weeks from now when those games really matter. And I think that's what the Dodgers are going to do. And I think they'll do a great job at it because they always do. And hopefully we can win the World Series this year. I really believe this is our year. And who knows what's going to happen. I think the playoffs are going to be great. and that's going to be it's going to be big. So thank you for watching. I appreciate it. This is kind of a shorter video, but it's all right. I have a video on baseball lingo and terms that I'm hoping to come out next week. I'm not really too sure, but thank you for watching. Appreciate it. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time with more Siah Sports content. Bye.